Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is PsychoGold and this is PsychoGold Videos. Now, first thing I want to make very clear, if the audio sounds a little bit different to normal, that's because it is, because I was watching a different anime. I was actually finishing Gaku Garashi, and obviously if you're watching this on YouTube, which at the moment with the way Fire Force is, I don't know if you will be, but if you are watching this on YouTube, Gaku Garashi is a Patreon anime that I've been watching for a while, and I finally finished it. So at some point I will try and bring it to YouTube. I'm hoping that that one doesn't have any copyright issues, because I've kind of had my fill of them at the moment, if I'm being completely honest with you. But we'll have to wait and see. I loved the ending, but the last 3 episodes have been ruined by an audio issue, which I believe I've now sorted. But I won't know. This is kind of like my test run. But looking at my levels on my recording software, it definitely looks like it's picking me up better. But now I'm worried that it's going to be too far the other way, which is why I changed it in the first place. And then I've never had any issues, but all of a sudden I started having these issues. So with that out of the way, Fire Force time, baby. Last episode gave us some moments to think about and gave us a lot of conspiracy theory segments, for want of a better way of putting it. So I'm guessing that this episode is not going to have any of that. It's probably going to be more of a standard episode. It might introduce us to other aspects of the Fire Force agency, given that the captain basically told us how it works, what's going on, etc. So now that we've been told about it, I would be surprised if we're not now shown, even if it's just a little bit of it. But maybe they'll save that for a later day, I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see something more of Fire Force in this episode. But either way, let's check it out. 3, 2, 1, go. Tokyo Empire, Choku. Oh! This looks like a different part of Fire Force, doesn't it? That was quick. Oh, damn. I know this show's called Fire Force, but she's bringing a different kind of heat. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a seat for her. Okay. What? Why is... Okay, that's really confusing me. For starters, they're all firefighters, so you'd think they would need to be a bit more, not being crippled, let's put it that way. Does that mean that she's the captain of the 5th? In which case, I feel sorry for the people in the 5th. So... is the rest of the 8th in on the investigation, or is it just the captain is the question? Well, in fairness, the second you realised it was Ashes, I think it was a safe bet that they weren't going to be that fussed about, you know, the sanctity of a dead, whatever, infernal person, however they died, etc. It's Ash, you know? Ah, okay. We keep seeing this in the ending. The flames of the original sin. She's been listening to Elton John. I was gonna say, you can't answer the phone like that, you idiot. Oh! So there are still regular firefighters in this world. I was gonna say, is this new information that we're learning? I feel like they vaguely mentioned this in one of the other episodes. What? Well, he definitely looks like he's got mental issues. Oh! Well, that, I was gonna say, be careful what you wish for, dude. He still has his mind. That's interesting. Yeah, he spoke. He ain't in some great amount of pain and confusion. He knows exactly what he's doing, and his brain is still very much intact. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I don't think they're gonna get there in time to save him from that. But this is different to anything that we've seen before. They didn't leave without permission. I did wonder what Arthur was doing then. I did also think he could take him with him, but yeah, not quite like that. Oh, see, I do like that lieutenant. Although he can be a bit of a hard ass, he is very much about saving people. And it's like immediately gone from being irritable with them to, right, you can move faster than us. Get there, start getting people out. Now. And I do like him. He's very business matter of fact. He does like doing those big flying kicks. Oh! Nice shot, Arthur! Damn! They're actually working together pretty well. What? Oh. Okay. Definitely full creepy. Okay, so it has kind of happened before, but not to this degree. Interesting. I'm not so good-natured. Oh, Lieutenant. I do like your style, but I don't think a gun is going to help you there. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're just like, well, it doesn't matter. He's an infernal. End of. I mean, in fairness, Shinra, it's not like he was the greatest person in the first place, but still. Damn, Shinra. It doesn't matter how many people you saved. It doesn't give you the right to decide that some people you're going to kill. He's completely broken, even if he isn't an infernal. Oh! Yes! That look, man! Yeah, sorry, mate. I don't believe you. I think he's just trying to use it to distract you. Yeah. Oh, he took his arm off! Damn, he expected that. Oh, so she's a princess? Oh, she's also a third generation pyrokinetic. Okay. Okay, that was a very efficient application of a full body straitjacket. What the hell? Not even just a chest one. What did she do? Did she heat up the air around him? Okay. Now I'm beginning to see why everybody in her unit is afraid of her. Why do they look like they're out of the Matrix? You know what I mean? They've got that weird aesthetic. Who was that just pushed past the child? Oh, it was one of theirs. Okay. Now I was gonna say, Shinra's not as easy to take down as you think, no matter how ridiculously oversized your chests are. Yeah, I actually do quite fancy his chances, but there's no way she's gonna play fair, kid. You're gonna lose. Unless unless the rest of your company... There we go. Oh! So it was... The fifth was generating that water artificially. Damn. Oh! Yeah, I agree with her on that, but I don't actually think for a second that that's what she wants him for. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, your lieutenant's not gonna be pleased with you. He was! I like the lieutenant. Why are they posing like they're on the middle of a freaking album cover? I was gonna say, bring it. In a full out fight between the two houses, I think I'm not being funny, I think the 8th would wipe the floor with the 5th. Their only strong player is clearly her. I think everybody else would fold easy. And I think I just got the numbers of those houses wrong. But you know who I mean. Though I didn't realize just how understaffed the 8th was until we've just seen the 5th. That's... They need to get on that, man, you know? Well, that's that. That was the 4th episode of Fire Force. Now, first things first, I completely didn't register that we had gone back in time. At the beginning of the episode, we saw a segment and then it went backwards, and then we made our way to the segment, and then we carried on. Now, I must admit, that's my bad. The episode did make that clear. For some reason, it just didn't click into my brain until I saw it the second time. That would have made a lot more sense, so I'm sure some people will have been saying, it's right there, you idiot! But, yeah. I did see it, it just didn't register for some reason. Anyway, I actually liked that episode because... with everything that we learned in the previous episode about the way that they think that the Fire Force Agency is potentially hiding something from them, to now say that there is an infernal that is able to keep his personality intact 100% raises a lot of questions, because the first thought that comes into my mind, what's the real difference between an infernal that has his consciousness and a third generation pyrokinetic? Because they both have tremendous control over their fire abilities, but one has a more monstrous look than the other, but they're still both themselves, you know? Imagine if you had someone who has infernalized but still know who they are on the Fire Force. They would be able to do pretty much anything that a Fire Force can do without actually needing to worry about damaging themselves, because from what we can tell, they seem to be completely immune to the fire. So, just like Shinra, they would be a massive asset to whatever company took them on. Obviously, in this case, it's an irrelevant point due to the fact that the guy that transformed was already a serial killer, but hilariously was also a firefighter, so swings and roundabouts, you know? Like, he was deranged and very much not able to comprehend things correctly, in my opinion, because it doesn't matter how many people you save, that doesn't mean that you've built up, like, I don't know, some karma points. That means, you know, oh, I've saved a couple hundred people, so I can kill a dozen or so, right? It's not going to make any difference, eh? No, it definitely doesn't work like that. And as I said right at the end of the episode, I'm also quite surprised at how understaffed the 8th is now that we've met another company. The 5th has 3 different fire trucks and has a much bigger assortment of firefighters, and I'm assuming that the 3 Trinity wannabes are their sisters / nuns, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. I mean, I think they said they were like the Sisters 3 or something, but I mean, I don't think they're supposed to be the charmed ones, so I'm assuming that they are their version of the religious side of everything. But I doubt that the house has much of a religious aspect to it anyway, considering they're clearly led by someone who is very much on the side of Syiance, given that she seemed to be intent on basically only doing something if it can further her own scientific interest, because it seemed to me like she was ignoring a lot of other things that was happening in her district and only wanted to mobilize the 5th when she found something interesting, even though it was in the 8th's jurisdiction, which obviously caused some friction at the end. And the fact that she was also more than happy to throw down with Shinra, it just speaks volumes about the corruption that Shinra and the captain said exists within Fire Force. Obviously, if he tried to report her, nothing would happen, because technically speaking, apart from being in the wrong jurisdiction, everything else that she said was correct. And as far as her conduct and her house's actions, it is literally the words of Shinra and the later words of 4 or 5 people versus the entire company of House 5. So there's just no point in trying to take it further. And in all honesty, from what we've gathered over the last episode, I get the distinct impression that if he did try to take it further, he wouldn't win that fight. It seems to me that House 8 is literally made up of people who are actual firefighters, which is what he said, in that he was put in that position because of his old reputation and because the firefighter service wanted that house to exist, one that's actually created with firefighting in mind, not religion, serving a company, or doing scientific research, etc., etc. But at the same time, I imagine that everybody else, the other 7, who have existed obviously for much longer, are annoyed that a house like number 8 can exist, because they are not very similar to 8. I imagine the other houses, even though they're probably rivals and they are competitors and they get in each other's way, they understand each other, in that they understand that they are literally only there for their own self-interest, and saving people and vanquishing infernals is part of the job, but not why they're there. Whereas for the 8th company, that is literally why they get up in the morning, to help people, and putting infernals to rest, not just getting rid of them, is what they do as part of that job. And they are made up of people that believe in what they're doing is right, and I get the distinct impression, especially from the 5th, that they couldn't care less what they do. The fact that they obviously had that moment where they pushed past the kid and knocked him over, and at the same time they had that joke about the fact that he was singed or something, and that really pissed off Shinra, and it was kind of like, yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. I didn't really get that it was the same thing, because when they were fighting, it didn't actually look like they had a crowd, so that crowd being somewhere didn't quite work for me. I didn't feel the flow of those camera shots worked, at least for me, but, you know, in looking back at it now, I get it, and yeah, I'm right there with Shinra. That would definitely send me over the edge, and if I had all of those fire powers, I'd probably be contemplating wiping the floor with everybody as well. And speaking of insane fire powers, the captain of the 5th is a really weird character. I don't know how you could serve in the 5th if she misuses her powers the way she clearly does, and she's so selfish and self-absorbed. She's clearly got a stereotypical dominant personality in that she has her entire house of firefighters literally lie down on the ground to be the floor, and she makes them be human furniture. You know, if that's your kink, whatever, but you're a firefighter at work. Keep it at home, lady. You know? It's just like, I really, it's just, no. Just no. If we're not supposed to like her, then mission accomplished. I don't like her, and I look forward to somebody kicking her ass at some point, whether it be the actual captain or whether Shinra's got to do it. But it would be nice if it could be the captain managing to do it in such a way that she can't use her powers. Like maybe she's going to make a mistake that he catches her out on and actually takes proof to her superiors, because that would be nice. That would be nice to see her, you know, taken down, or at least taken out of a position where she's doing more harm than good, and replaced with someone who's actually going to put in the effort and has the same sort of desires that the 8th does. But obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon, and we've probably been introduced to the 5th as a way of demonstrating just how different our group of characters are to the rest of the Fire Force, which is going back to what happened at the end of the last episode, with the captain stating that half his job is to investigate the other houses and try and figure out what exactly is going on. So yeah, basically, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought the fights were amazing, the animation was stunning, the way that the camera pans around a lot during some of the more flashy moves is really nice. Shinra clearly knows karate, and karate specifically because of the way he seems to fight. The way he got up off the ground as well, when the 3 sisters were on top of him, and he did that twirling kick. I've seen that from other people that know karate, and with these ridiculous flying kicks that he loves to do, and a couple of the other stuff he's done, I'm guessing that Shinra himself has spent some time learning karate. And with that said, I think I'm going to end this one here, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one with me. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I would like to hear your comments down below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. I'm hoping that you're watching this video on YouTube itself, but if it's a redirect, then it's a redirect, and I'm sorry about that, but for some reason I get targeted and other people don't. I don't know anybody else who's had an issue with Fire Force yet at the time of recording. This video might age badly and everybody has lost theirs as well, but at the time of recording, people I know aren't having any issues with it, so I'm kind of irritated that I am when, as per usual, I've got less footage than they do, but their one is fine. I can't work it out. YouTube needs to change its ridiculous issues and its stupid, non-existent rules. But with that rant aside, without me going on, I'm going to just end it and say, my name, of course, is Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out!